Hello everyone, I'm Aratrika Bhomik and I welcome you all to another episode of Courts Today on LiveLaw, where we update you about all the important legal developments that took place across the country today. We will begin with developments from the Supreme Court and will then cover High Courts and other lower courts. If you like our content, please do not forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. The Supreme Court today heard the preliminary arguments in the cases relating to the dispute between Uddhav Thackeray and Eknath Shinde arising out of the rift within the Shiv Sena political party. After hearing the senior lawyers appearing for both sides for over an hour, the bench adjourned the hearing till tomorrow morning, asking senior advocate Harish Salve, who appeared for the Eknath Shinde group, to redraft the written submissions for more clarity. A bench comprising Chief Justice of India N.V. Ramana, Justices Krishna Murari and Hema Kohli was hearing petitions filed by petitioners belonging to the Eknath Shinde and Uddhav Thackeray factions of Shiv Sena in relation to disqualification proceedings, election of speaker, recognition of party whip, floor test for Shinde government in the Maharashtra Assembly, and proceedings initiated by the Election Commission of India on request made by the Eknath Shinde-led faction for their recognition as the real Shiv Sena and their claim over the party's election symbol, the bow and the arrow. The Supreme Court today opined that an expert body consisting of various stakeholders such as Niti Aayog, Finance Commission, Law Commission, Reserve Bank of India, members of ruling and opposition parties would be required to give suggestions to address the issue of promise of freebies during election campaigns. To enable the court to pass an order for the constitution of such a body, the bench of CJI N.V. Ramana, Justices Krishna Murari and Hema Kohli directed the petitioner, the central government and the Election Commission of India to give suggestions. The bench was considering a PIL petition filed by lawyer Ashwini Upadhyay seeking directions to regulate freebies. During the hearing, the Chief Justice of India orally remarked that no political party would be willing to debate the issue as all of them wanted to offer freebies during polls. Solicitor General Tushar Mehta, appearing for the central government, also submitted that populist freebies distort the informed decision-making of the voter and, if unregulated, will lead the country to an economic disaster. The Supreme Court today directed the Committee of Administrators to conduct the elections to the Executive Committee of the All India Football Federation expeditiously as per the timelines proposed by the committee and consistent with the manner prescribed in Article 26 of the draft constitution of the AIFF. A bench comprising Justices D.Y. Chandrachud and J.B. Pardiwala made it abundantly clear that the elected committee would be an interim body which would continue for a period of 3 months subject to further orders of the court. It stated that in the interim, the constitution of AIFF can be finalized. The Supreme Court has observed that for the purpose of exception 1 of section 300 of the IPC, that is the offence of murder, the last provocation has to be considered in light of the previous provocative acts or words which have to be serious enough to cause the accused to lose his self-control. The bench comprising Justices Sanjeev Khanna and Bela Trivedi also clarified that this principle does not do away with the requirement of immediate or the final provocative act, words or gesture. Further, this defense would not be available if there is evidence of reflection or planning as they mirror exercise of calculation and premeditation, the court added. The Supreme Court has directed the GST Council to issue instructions to the respective states regarding implementation of the system of electronic generation of a document identification number in the indirect tax administration. The bench comprising Justices M.R. Shah and B.V. Nagaratna observed that the system, which is already being implemented by the states of Karnataka and Kerala, would be in the larger public interest and enhance good governance. In a significant development, the Bar Council of India has said that it will permit law graduates engaged in non-legal jobs to provisionally enroll as advocates if they undertake to quit their jobs in 6 months after the declaration of the All India Bar examination. The BCI has also decided to make it mandatory for those who have cleared the All India Bar examination but have since been involved in non-judicial or non-legal work to to reappear for the examination if they stay out of law practice for more than 5 years. This stipulation will, however, not apply to candidates returning to law practice through appointments as public prosecutors or selected in judicial services or other posts such as law officers in some corporate or government offices. Such persons shall stand on a different footing and will not be required to clear the All India Bar examination again. These decisions were undertaken by the BCI and was informed to the Supreme Court in an appeal filed by the BCI against a judgment of the Gujarat High Court which allowed persons engaged in other employments, whether full-time or part-time, to enroll as advocates without resigning from their jobs. The Supreme Court today dismissed as withdrawn former IPS officer Sanjeev Bhatt's plea seeking suspension of sentence in the 1990 custodial death case in view of the Gujarat High Court now hearing his appeal against the conviction. When the matter was taken up today, senior advocate Kapil Sibal, appearing for Bhatt, submitted that the petition is being withdrawn as the Gujarat High Court is hearing the appeal on a day-to-day basis. The bench of Justices M.R. Shah and B.V. Nagaratna dismissed the special leave petition as withdrawn and observed in the order that it is needless to say that the appeal shall be decided in accordance with law on merits and that the observations made while considering sentence suspension cannot influence the appeal. Observing the action of Development Authority in moving alleged encroachers overnight, the Delhi High Court has observed that persons cannot be evicted with a bulldozer at their doorstep early in the morning or late in the evening without any notice, rendering them completely shelterless. Justice Subramaniam Prasad further added that a reasonable period has to be given to such persons and temporary location has to be provided to them before embarking on any demolition activities. The court made the observations while dealing with a plea filed by the Shakarpur Slum Union stating that it comprised of residents of Jhuggi, Bastis and slums of cities Shakarpur district. The Karnataka High Court today dismissed the bail petition filed by IAS officer J. Manjunath, who has been arrested by the Anti-Corruption Bureau in a bribery case. A single judge bench of Justice K. Natarajan dismissed the petition. Manjunath was the former Bangalore Deputy Urban Commissioner who was arrested by the Anti-Corruption Bureau following certain critical remarks made by Justice H.P. Sandesh while hearing a bail application filed by a co-accused in the case. The Bombay High Court said that it will pass orders transferring investigation into the 2015 murder of communist leader Govind Pansare from the Special Investigation Team to the Anti-Terrorism Squad 7 years after the leader was shot while on his morning walk. A division bench comprising Justice Revati Mohite Deire and Justice Sharmila Deshmukh said they will pass an order to that effect while hearing an application filed by Pansare's kin. Seeking transfer, the family alleged that the SIT failed to make any clinching breakthrough in the case. Responding to Delhi riots accused Khalid Saifi's plea seeking treatment after falling sick inside the jail, the medical officer has informed Delhi court that Saifi was non-compliant in taking medicines as well as treatment. Saifi, also the member of United Against Hate, is presently under judicial custody in a larger conspiracy case into the 2020 Delhi riots. An urgent application was moved before Additional Sessions Judge Amitav Rawat for medical tests and treatment after stating that Saifi was having high fever, high sugar and diarrhea. During the course of the hearing on August 1st, Saifi's counsel denied the submissions made by the medical officer by arguing that he was not provided proper treatment despite his high sugar. The Kerala High Court has directed the Police Commissioner of Kochi to take action against traffic police officers who were found using mobile phones while on duty. Justice Raval also added that anyone who finds an officer using mobile phones except for emergency or official calls can report the same to the toll-free numbers which will be notified soon. The court was adjudicating upon a petition moved by 18 auto rickshaw owners challenging the decision of the Joint Regional Transport Authority preventing them from plying the auto rickshaws freely and picking up passengers from the stand. The Kerala High Court today stayed all proceedings of the lower court pending against Transport Minister Anthony Raju in the evidence tampering case for a period of 1 month. While admitting the plea, Justice Ziad Rahman AA observed that the offences alleged against the petitioner could only be prosecuted on the basis of a complaint by the concerned court or an authorized officer and not by the police. Therefore, the court found that the minister made a prima facie case in his favor. Anthony Raju has been accused of tampering with evidence while he was practicing as a lawyer. A Delhi court has dismissed a suit of copyright infringement filed over publication of a book titled Islamic Studies with a cost of ₹50,000, observing that nobody can have copyright on the teachings which are written in the holy books Quran and Hadith or other Islamic books. District Judge Sanjeev Kumar Agarwal of 30 Hazari courts was of the view that some contents are bound to be similar, as teachings given in the holy books Quran and Hadith and other religious texts related to Islam are bound to be the same in all books which are about teachings on Islam. The Rajasthan High Court has asked the central and the state governments to file a status report indicating the steps taken to prevent and prohibit online sale of electronic cigarettes. The development comes in a public interest litigation seeking directions for effective implementation of the provisions of Prohibition of Electronic Cigarettes, Production, Manufacture, Import, Export, Transport, Sale, Distribution, Storage, Advertisement Act 2019 and to stop the sale, use, consumption, possession of e-cigarettes. The Kerala High Court today dismissed the public interest litigation challenging the steps undertaken to confer Indian Police Service Kerala cadre to Abdul Rashid, retired Superintendent of Police, without considering his alleged criminal background. A division bench observed that the petition did not stand at this stage after UPSC pointed out that the selection process for the cadre was not completed yet. The petition was filed by a senior journalist challenging the steps taken to confer Indian Police Service Kerala cadre to a retired Superintendent of Police without considering his alleged criminal background. The petition further alleged that the respondent was in police custody for a period of 90 days for attempting to commit the murder of a journalist named Unnithan, and that several petitions challenging his discharge from the criminal case are still pending. Thank you. Keep watching Courts Today on LiveLaw for more such updates.